Hello, world. Welcome to the first, can I say that? Yeah, the first HubSpot Essentials for Developers. My name is Dennis Edson, technical community manager at HubSpot. My pronouns are he, him. And for my visually impaired friends, I am a white bearded male wearing a hat to not show the balding head. I have a black shirt on, and you can kind of see some developer-y type of stuff on it. Behind me, you'll see some books on some shelves that are kind of skewed. I should correct that at some point in time. Before I introduce the people you actually came to see, I need to take care of some housekeeping. Code of conduct. Guys, be good. If you see something, say something. We're going to be putting a link in the chat so you can report anything you see. Just be good, guys. If you have questions, throw them in the Q&A and we'll do our best to answer them. If you're wondering, hey, is this being recorded? I had to do work as well. Don't worry, folks. We are recording this. We will be putting it on our YouTube channel. Please, I'm sure you are already subscribed, so you'll see it there in a bit. Okay, there are 3 parts to this event. First, Derek Hawkins will talk about a problem he solved involving some schema automation. Then our friends Laporte and Jon McLaren are going to do a demo about HubSpot memberships, which is pretty freaking cool. And last, we're going to bring them all up here. They're going to do some Q&A, and you can ask them whatever the heck you want to ask them. All right, enough about me. Let me introduce the smart people you actually came to see. Derek Hawkins is the SEO and web manager at Domino Data Lab and has a freaking adorable pup. Take it away, sir.
Thank you so much. Just a moment as I share my screen. All right. Just as a quick introduction to myself, my name is Derek Hawkins. My pronouns are he, him, his. I am the SEO web manager for Domino Data Labs, and I am based in Queens. My focus has been marketing first with a split as a developer. I have spent most of my career working in SEO, CRO, and web experience for a plethora of larger brands such as the US Army, the United States Postal Service, Johnson & Johnson, and Memorial Sloan Kettering. My emphasis has always been on really trying to use technology to make marketing more straightforward and more accessible for the larger organization. Just as a quick aside, I also have to introduce my dog Wookie. He is my work from home coworker who I like to bounce ideas off of whenever I am working on a problem. And one of the problems that we've had at Domino has really been a problem of scale. We have an amazing content team. Product marketers, evangelists, external freelance writers, in-house writers, and anybody else you can imagine writing content across our entire ecosystem. We have multiple blogs designed to talk to multiple different personas. And within this problem of a lot of writers working in a lot of different environments, one major problem is that we just don't have a way, or did not have a way at the time, to generate schema at scale. What I really wanted to address was to make sure that there was a way to not only address this large backlog of content that did not have schema on it, but also make sure that we had a system in place to scale up and make sure that every single page had schema moving forward. So you're probably asking, why not just use a plugin? This was probably the question I asked. This was the question I asked myself, and it was actually what I was looking for right out of the gate to solve this problem. And what I had found by looking through the third-party ecosystem of plugins for schema automation is pretty much one of 3 problems. Either the plugin had little to no human support or documentation, so it was a true plug and play, here is the plugin, now go play. But that doesn't really help when you have a significant issue or if you are working in a brand new environment that might not be entirely supported by that plugin. As well, technical support for non-standard schema types. So Domino is always experimenting from a website to make sure that we can be on the cutting edge of really anything that Google and other search engines are looking at from a schema perspective. So when you are tied into a plugin that only allows one single support, then you don't have many options when you want to start moving forward. And finally, just not trying to promote a patchwork solution for solving this issue. I didn't want to have something that required jumping through multiple hurdles, multiple different processes, different platforms, and different organizations, different members within the organization to get schema up to the site at scale. I wanted to make sure that there was a tried and true solution that was cyclical in nature that could not only address the backlog, but could be redeployed at any given moment for any publication. And that's exactly what I built out. So HubSpot was a significant partner in terms of making sure that this is something that we could do, in that the CRM and CMS API were vital to actually being able to implement this. We would collect data from our authors to really make sure that they were properly represented in the schema based on what we had in our database, as well as data around the article itself. I did all of this in Python specifically, though this approach could be done in any preferred programming language. So really pulling in everything to make valid schema via API, extracting the necessary values for that schema, and then building out net new json+ld using the elements that we parsed out from the API pull. I used a library called json+ld, which is open source in Python, to build out the json+ld for this. And then from there, I was using an f-string to implement script tags for the beginning and the end of that json+ld. From there, the actual implementation is once again using the HubSpot CMS API to directly implement that into the header. So there are multiple ways that you could actually take this json+ld once you have it. You could use a third party for actual implementation. In this instance, I wanted to make sure there was the path of least resistance. And so we had decided to just dynamically inject this into the header to make sure that it was going through without having to bring in other platforms. And then from there, we're using a third-party crawler to validate that schema, making sure that Google and other search engines are properly reading that schema when it's on site. And so we can continue to use this method again and again to ensure that every single article on site has the same tried and true schema onto it, as well as, excuse me, making sure that the second something launches, we can redeploy this process and have it appear on the site as soon as it publishes. And this just scratches the surface of how we are leveraging HubSpot's multiple APIs to ensure that Domino is creating a best-in-class experience. So we're doing some initial testing with dynamic generation of meta tags from the CRM data for our blogs, both for testing purposes and for engagement purposes. Highlighting submissions on site for newsletter capture forms directly from the CRM. So being able to show how many people have downloaded a demo per week, how many people are subscribed to the blog at any given point. Really making sure that we are able to highlight what is in our database right now directly onto the site. And finally, all-in-one CRM, CMS reporting, taking in data across our entire HubSpot ecosystem to make sure that we can really tie back the story of who in our database is interacting with what specific aspect of our site to get the full picture. And with that, I'm going to hand it off to John and AJ to talk about some of the other wonderful things you can do with HubSpot.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Derek. That presentation was absolutely awesome. I want to say thank you again, everybody, for joining us today. My name is AJ Laporte. My pronouns are he and him. Behind me is a nice wood-looking wall with the Sprocket logo. I'm also wearing a gray shirt that has the HubSpot logo on it as well. And I'm joined today by Jon. Jon, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi, I'm Jon McLaren, he, him pronouns, and I'm a white male with short black hair, brown eyes, and I'm wearing a black shirt with the Sprocket logo and curly braces, a callback to Hubble. And behind me is the HubSpot logo, and I work on a lot of our developer education content. And whether you've visually seen me or not, I've probably been a part of the dev ed content that you've seen. I'll throw it back to AJ.
All right, I probably should talk with you and Dennis next time so we can all wear the same clothes. Today we are talking about getting started with memberships. If you want to follow along with us, there's a complimentary blog post that we published earlier today. This post includes links out to some of the items we're discussing today, and we're also going to be dropping links in our chat as we move along. So let's go ahead and kick this off. Let me move over to here. So what is memberships on CMS Hub? Memberships on CMS Hub give you the ability to create gated content similar to that of password protected pages that requires users to log into your site in order to view it. Memberships on HubSpot are powered by our contact lists feature within the CRM. This means that you can create multiple lists for contacts to be added to, then assign those lists to certain pages, allowing those contacts access to the gated content. An example would be creating multiple lists for membership levels and then allowing each level access to its own tier of content. The unique advantage of using lists to control content access is that you can also reuse those same lists for your email campaigns and within our own workflow tooling. So now that we've covered what memberships are from a high level, let's dive into what we should know before getting started with memberships on CMS Hub, and then we'll discuss what we'll be covering today. So you should have a basic understanding of the following features and areas. First, the settings area within HubSpot, in particular, the website settings area. Then you should also be familiar with templates, themes, modules, menus, and pages, as well as CRM contacts and lists within HubSpot. And lastly, Hubble, which is HubSpot's extension of Jinjava, which is a templating language based on Jinja. It's good to note that Hubble uses a fair amount of markup that's unique to HubSpot, and we don't support all of the features of Jinja. Now we'll review what we're going to be covering today. First, we'll review how to enable memberships with self-registration for your domain. Then we'll review where you go to assign templates from your theme to system-level pages for memberships, and also how to assign pages for user destinations, such as after a user logs in. After that, we'll cover how to build a site header that adapts to a user's logged in state. And last, we'll cover how to create an account information and an update information page for users. Now let's begin with enabling memberships with self-registration. We're going to start by going to our settings area, which is this little cogwheel in the top right between the marketplace icon and the notification bell icon. Then we're going to scroll down a little bit further on the left-hand sidebar here and go to the website section. And inside the website section, we're going to then navigate to the private content area. Now, before we can enable self-registration, we have to choose the appropriate domain name in the top area. And you can see that over here by where it says choose a domain to edit. And then I'll choose our domain. And we can kind of see this little pop-in area down here. So you can see here by default, this is not checked. It's only checked because this is what we did in our demo here. But you can see that if I uncheck it and I recheck it, I get this little success message telling me that the website settings were in fact saved. So just like that, we've enabled self-signup on our domain. Now we're going to talk about assigning your user destination pages and also your system level templates. So to do that, I'm going to scroll back up here and go to my templates tab. Well, before I do that, Let me scroll a little bit further down and we'll see our destinations area first. We'll stick to the general tab since we're here already. Here on our destinations tab, you can see that this is where you're going to set those pages for the actions of the users. So we can see after somebody signs in, we can choose which page that we want them to be directed to after somebody registers, I'm sorry, and then after somebody signs in and after somebody signs out. So these are all pages that we've created in the system already. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and scroll back up to my templates tab. And this is where we're going to set all of our default system level templates for membership registration, sign in, password reset, etc. This is a mix of both email, which is for the invited users to register and verification of the password being saved, and page templates that we can assign. You can find out more information about these template types in our developer documentation. So we can see here just real quick running through our basic registration, emails, registration page, password saved confirmation email, and when access is denied. And then also for our sign-in pages and sign-out pages templates, and then our password reset templates and creating a new password. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hand it over to John, who's going to show you about how you can build a site header that adapts to the user's logged in state.
Thank you, AJ. Now that you have your system templates all set up, you probably want to make the logged in experience for your site feel familiar to, but different than the public facing side of your site. First, you should know that all of your site templates and modules that you use on your public side of your site are fair game to use within the memberships portion of your site. And the content editor experience is the same. Think of a membership-based site that you've used, that's any website that you log into from your financial accounts, your social accounts, and web apps and other services. What are some of the immediate features or details you'd expect from any of these logged in experiences? I'll give you guys a few seconds in the chat. I'll restate the question real quick. What are some of the immediate features or details that you'd expect from any of those logged in experiences that you see on a daily basis? Password reset, good. SSO, yeah. All right. Some things that I think of are your navigation menu is different from the public facing side of the website. There's often a settings page to update your contact information and change communication preferences. The experience generally gets more personalized to you. And then we're going to implement some of all of that right now. We'll start with creating a menu that adapts to whether the member is logged in or not. We don't need to build a menu module from scratch. We're actually going to modify the HubSpot boilerplate menu code. I'll quick share my screen. All right. I have the menu module open in VS Code. I have my screen zoomed in, but if you have any trouble seeing the code, Dennis or SJ will drop a link to the blog post that we mentioned earlier. And that post includes links to the code and the steps that I'm taking so that you can follow along. Additionally, all of the code shown today is available in a GitHub repository, so link is in that post. Just as a preface, I already have the CLI, the HubSpot CLI running, and I have the watch function enabled, so any saves that I make to these two files will automatically be uploaded. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to add a Boolean field to our fields.json. So I have the HubSpot VS Code extension installed, so I can do this, field.boolean, and then just hit tab. That generates the JSON for that field. And then I'm just going to add a comma. All right, and ignore the formatting. I'm not going to care about that so much during this demo. If you need to see it cleaned up, you can go to the links, the GitHub links. All right, so just a quick, like, why am I creating a Boolean field? So what I want to do is I want to make it so that the content creator can choose whether or not the membership-based links will appear in the menu. And there's a good reason for this. So I might want in my site header, the main navigation to change based on whether the user is logged in. I don't care about that for the sidebar or the footer. So this will allow the content creator to choose that. So we're going to name this display membership menus, and we'll change the label. And if I make any typos, feel free to call it out in the chat and make fun of me. I will ignore you. So we're going to add a little bit of inline help text just to make it easy for the content creator to understand what this field's even going to do. We'll just say links that will appear in the main navigation when logged in or logged out. All right, and I will hit save, and I'll just scroll this back. All right, and let's take a look at our module preview. Now we can see that we have this module field. It's not doing anything useful just yet. All right, we're going to go back into our module HTML here, and we're going to add an if statement. If module dot display membership menus, and we'll add an end if. Oops, there's that typo. All right. So what this is going to do is we'll be able to have some code that is based on whether or not the person's enabled this feature. Now we need to actually handle whether the user is logged in or not. We'll add another if statement. If request contact dot is logged in. All right, and then we're going to add an else because we care about if they are not logged in as well. Else. End if. And I'll just quick fix this formatting. All right, so the menu module in the boilerplate already has a great macro that you can use to generate the list items and the anchor links for each of the items in your menu. So we're going to repurpose that, and it's actually very easy. So this menu items macro, we will copy, and we'll paste it here and here. And now what we need to do is make it so that this macro is based on the module fields. So we'll go up to our menu items here, and we're going to add a parameter, menu ID. And then right where we're adding this variable, we're going to make sure that we're referencing that new parameter. All right, so it's not going to change how anything displays yet. In fact, it will probably be broken. Yep, it's broken. All right, so now what we're going to do is we need to make sure that we're passing that information in. So our first menu is just literally called menu. So module.menu. And then our second menu, module dot, and it's inside of a group. So let me quick scroll down. Let's actually create that next. So we need two fields. We need a menu for when you're logged in and a menu for when you're logged out. For organizational purposes, let's create a group. Group, and then hit tab. All right. And this group will hold both of our menus. It's just something for organization. And actually in the blog post, we use visibility to conditionally hide these fields. We'll name this membership menus. And set the label. All right, now to add children to a group, you just add them to the array field dot menu, because we're adding a menu field. And we'll name this logged in menu. And we're actually going to copy and paste this. Again, ignore the fact that my indentation might be off sometimes. We're going to just change this to say logged out. Oops. And I will save this. And so now we should see in the preview, we have our logged in and logged out menu. Little bit of cooking show magic here. I've already created these menus, but don't worry, I will show them. All right, and as you can see, it's not rendering. We have one thing left to do. So I did not finish entering this in. So we need to pass our new fields through. So membership menus. And the first one is logged out, or I mean logged in, sorry. And then I will just copy and paste this. And actually, this needs to change, so logged out. All right, so now just double check, save. Well, we know that our Boolean is working. So now that we have that enabled, we can see the logged out menu, which the logged out menu only has one link and it says logged in. I also have, if I pull up the actual live site, potentially a coding error. One moment. Is logged in. It looks correct. Anyways, so normally when you are actually logged in, you will see a version like this. Let's just go to the account page. There we go. Now it's working fine. Must be a goof there. All right, so I have my logged in menu, and notice that my name is showing up in the menu. Also, I have a new link here for announcements. And under here, I have a few additional links. I will quick show you how we have these menus actually set up. So we have our main nav. The main nav is what gets used on both the public and the non-public pages. And then we have the logged in and logged out menus. So the logged out menu links to that the default memberships login URL. The logged in menu shows a few things. So this announcements link that I was pointing to earlier, this is actually just a blog that is set to private content. So if you didn't know you can do that, you can make an entire blog be private content. And it works very much the same way as pages. So then the other thing I'm doing is where my name was showing, you can actually use a personalization token right in the menu. So that's what I'm doing here. And then I have a link to the account page. And then we have set up on this account a customer portal. So if you have access to customer portal, you could do the same exact thing real easily. The My Tickets link is just linking over to that customer portal. And then I also have a logout link, which is the same as the login link, just the default logout one. All right, now let me bring you back over to that My Account page. And let me refresh just so that our nav is showing here. All right, so if you really want to give that user a logged in experience that feels like other sites they've been to, you can give them a My Account page, which would normally display some of their contact information. So on the left here, you can see some basic information about me. And then you can see what company I work for. And then in the off chance that somebody has multiple companies, you could display the additional companies. Additionally, you can see that I have my communication preferences stated here. So as I noted, we have that blog and it's set to private content, but you can also make it so that people can subscribe to that. And in this case, I subscribed to instant notifications. So we're showing the company information. This is a custom module, and it's built using the CRM associations function. So if I open up the design manager, this is our associations module. And the Hubble function for CRM associations, we're passing the contact ID. And then we are printing out what the company information is for that contact. And then for the additional associated companies, it's very simple. Just like with any multi relationship CRM object association, you can simply loop through all of the companies that are associated. And again, this is just using the CRM associations Hubble function. We're not going to talk about GraphQL today, but that's another way you could do this. So now that we've gone through all of that, I'm going to pass it back to AJ, who's going to give a little bit of a taste of what some of our community members have done with memberships.
Thank you for that demo, John. That was phenomenal. Let me go ahead and share up, and we should see again what we were covering. So now let's go ahead and move into some of the use cases in the wild of memberships, right? There we go. All right, so one of the first use cases that I'm sure many people have heard about is HubLMS. This is a learning management system that is built on top of HubSpot that was created by Impulse Creative. And then Impulse also has another site called Sprocket Talk. And these two sites are both powered by memberships. Another site that is powered by memberships is the Sales Genius Network, which is a resource center committed to creating a learning and growth environment for anybody in a client success-facing position, such as sales, marketing, and RevOps. And our last example is the Newbox Partner Portal. Newbox provides management software for companies and accountants. And with the Partner Portal, partners are able to log in and view accounts that they've referred to Newbox, along with any benefits that they may have unlocked or earned from their referral accounts. So those are just 3 examples of memberships that are being used currently out in the wild. So next up, I believe I'm going to hand this over to Dennis to introduce our Q&A portion.
Yes, yes, yes. All right, guys. Freaking amazing. You guys are brilliant. And also, John, just the fact that you do some live coding and just work through that, I am just always impressed. I will send you cookies in the mail at some point in time. All right, this last part, we are going to do some Q&A. There is one person who is not here who should go ahead and come on screen, who is Clare Pack, who is, and I will pull up so I don't actually mess up her title. Actually, I don't have it in front of me. Clare, what do you're a project manager or product manager. Whew, product manager of content foundations and content settings. If you want to just go ahead and introduce yourself real quickly, and then we'll start some Q&A.
Yeah, sure. My name is Claire. I'm a product manager for those lovely teams that Dennis has mentioned, which means the memberships functionality is actually something that we are working on. My pronouns are she, her, and today I'm wearing a green sweater with a virtual background. It looks like I'm in space.
Wait, that's virtual?
Yeah. No, actually, Dennis, I think the air is quite nice up here. You might enjoy it.
Indeed.
I was a little interested in us having a remote space office. So
yeah. Okay. As SJ put in the chat, please put anything you have in the Q&A. Claire and company have been doing a great job of answering questions. And Derek, if you want to come on up here too, where are you, buddy? Yeah. Hi. Please ask questions. We got a couple already in there. First one is from Vanessa Hunt. If you want to migrate a customer's current website from WordPress to a membership site in HubSpot, is that possible in the migration services, i.e. with certain numbers of pages included and any custom template setup? Thanks.
Yeah.
that is, if you have an answer.
Oh, no. I was, feel free to tack on any other information you have, John. Just from what I know of the current process, it is not yet included. If you don't have like a login experience on your WordPress, then the migration service team won't necessarily be able to develop a custom template for you that mimics that login, so that you can use it on HubSpot. But the asterisk I will provide here is that I am not a member of that migration service department. I don't really know what's on their roadmap. So that you should take that with a grain of salt, but that is what they have at the moment in terms of their service providing.
Yeah, and I would just say it's definitely fair to ask that question to the team when you are requesting to have that migration done. If otherwise, we have a website, and I apologize for not having the link handy right this second, but we do have a website for basically connecting you with a partner that would be able to do that kind of work if you at your own company are not ready to do that dev work.
Andreas asked, can the membership login be combined with the customer service portal so it's only visible for members?
Yes, to a degree. Oh, sorry.
Nope. I took the first one, so John, you take the next one.
Yeah. All right. So yes, to a degree. So you cannot currently customize the actual customer portal like templates, but that doesn't mean that you can't. For example, in my demo, I'll just quick pull it back up and share my screen. So what you can do is you can have your navigation linked to the customer portal. This is a poor example because I don't have any tickets created, but as you can imagine, the user then could click on the logo and come back to the rest of your website. So you can create that kind of bridged gap between your website and that customer portal experience. You could, if you're feeling really ambitious, you could technically recreate the functionality of customer portal within a membership page too. That's a little bit more work, but technically is possible. And some people, I believe Remington Begg, who might be in here, has actually possibly done that. So yes.
Cool. I think AJ is going to take this one. Can we set specific pages on only available for logged in members? Not sure if you talked about it.
Yes, in a quick response, yes, you can do that. On any page, you can go ahead and set the content. Let me go ahead and share my screen real quick, and I can kind of pop into one of our pages and kind of give you an idea where that's at. So if we go in, for example, and we edit like the account page that we have, that's one of the pages we want people to have access to. In our settings tab here in the middle, if we scroll down and we toggle open the advanced options menu, we'll see down here the control audience access for page. So this is where you would basically click on here and say private registration required. And then you would go ahead and choose that list that the members are added to in order to make that happen.
Cool. All right. Vicky has a question. What if you don't want people to self-register? Do you just associate a list that is manually curated? And I think Claire, I'm going to just give it to you because Claire has her face all over that right now. Go for it.
Yeah, so that's correct. Self-registration is, as AJ demoed earlier, enabled on the per domain basis. So then if you don't want people to self-register, then you can just associate a list with that content, and you don't have to, you can give it to people, or excuse me, content on a as need basis. It's not required to give that functionality to everything. Well, if that helps, Vicky.
A cool add-on comment to that is that what's really cool about using contact lists for determining membership is that all of the other HubSpot tools that use contact lists, so for example, if you have a workflow that adds people to a contact list, or you want to send emails to all of your members, you literally already have a contact list. So all of those things can be beautifully intermingled.
Next up, Jonathan Pavoni. Hey, how you doing, buddy? You have two questions, actually. The second one's not really a question, so I have a client looking to do this right now. So that's not really a question, so we'll do the other one. So could you use memberships with HubDB to create a gated resource center for members only? I guess anyone want to take that? Go for it.
Okay. Sorry, I feel like I'm answering like everything, but yes, you absolutely can. Everything that you would do on the front, like on the public facing side of your site. So if you've ever built a resource gallery using HubDB, apologize to the interpreter, I'm talking fast. If you have a HubDB or you have CRM objects and you use that to build a resource gallery, you can do the exact same thing within membership pages. And the difference is just simply you have more access to some information you wouldn't have on the public facing side. So more CRM objects are available to you, like contact data and company data. But yeah, otherwise it's very much the same.
Cool. Noel, or Noel, I apologize if I mispronounced your name. What's the status of being able to resend the membership registration email via workflow? And Claire, take it.
Yep. No, so this is something I have direct pulse on. Also, either Noel or Noel, I think I've seen you on the ideas for or ideas. Like I feel this, I'm getting deja vu. I don't know, blink twice if that's true. I don't think I can see you anyway. My point being though, yes, so resending registration emails via workflow, the status of this idea is very much in discovery. So my team and I have actually put this on our roadmap. So we are trying to prioritize this work for this year, and hope to provide some good updates on what this is going to look like. I will say, full disclosure, right now we're prioritizing the problem of not being able to resend multiple, registration emails in an automated way. So maybe it will show up on workflows. It may not, but definitely we're exploring all the options and looking to deliver something this year, hopefully. So we'll chat soon for sure.
Thank you, Claire. And again, quick plug there for the ideas forum. We actually do monitor that, and we do suggest put your stuff in there because it really makes a difference. Vicky, hi again. You asked, what about paid membership? Can you use HubSpot payments to accept payments, add the user to a list automatically? That's a great question, and exciting times with payments. Anyone feel like talking about that? Maybe I said too quickly. I'm sorry. I was rushed.
No, I can talk about this a little bit. So technically speaking, there are two routes about this. One, to Vicky's point, yes, you technically can use HubSpot payments to accept a payment via like the subscription, and using the subscriptions object, I believe you should hypothetically be able to create a list, and then using that list, you should hypothetically be able to grant access to private content. So, you can, excuse me, DIY this and build this. HubSpot doesn't support this out of the box. And when I started answering this question, I said there are two ways about this. So that's DIY, option A. Option B, turnkey out of the box. Let's have payments, paid memberships going on content. Is this possible today? No. Can it be possible? Well, as someone who's looking at the roadmap, I can't say this year, but maybe next year. It's something that we're very interested in. So definitely hope that answers your question, Vicky. But yes, it's possible, and hopefully also a little bit more out of the box.
Yeah, exciting times for payments, and expect a lot in that space. There's going to be a lot of development there. Mark, my friend, curious if anyone is experimenting with integrating HubSpot payments or another method of doing automated paid membership systems where members are billed on a regular basis. I'm not sure if this is the same question basically, or if you want to talk a little bit more about it, Claire. I'll just put you on the spot like that. I'm sorry.
No worries. I guess this is my second asterisk of the day. I'm not intimately familiar with all the details of the HubSpot payment. So is automated like regular billing possible? I imagine so, but I can't go on the record saying that it is. So I don't know of anyone on my team or in my immediate HubSpot circle who is experimenting with this. So I want to turn this question actually to the chat. Is anyone experimenting with such a thing at the moment? Because it sounds interesting.
Turn the cards there, Claire. Nicely done. While you guys are typing up very profound responses to Claire's question, I just want to remind you that we do have that poll up, and your responses would be very welcome, because we actually use that to determine if this is a good thing or not. And any more questions, or do you want me to hear me sing or something? Oh, Alicia says, yep,
I'd love to hear you sing.
A little bit experimenting with it. It's definitely possible to tie in the subscriptions with membership pages, from Alicia. Thank you very much. Also, we have an anonymous attendee with a question. Ooh. Currently, some of my CTA on my HubSpot sites are showing 404s. Not really relevant to this, but I'll say it in case someone wants to answer it. When crawled on certain crawlers, although they're not really a 404, is there known issue around CTAs? Go for it. Yeah.
I would say I can help answer it a little bit. To our knowledge right now, there's no issues happening with CTAs, but I would recommend submitting to support internally on that. And they would be your best avenue to get the quickest turnaround and response time for it.
Cool. If there are no more questions, I think I'm going to go ahead and stop this show. Everyone, thank you again for attending this. Derek, amazing talk. I wish there was more questions for you here. Reach out to this guy. He's amazing. Talk to him, and he'll help you out, I'm sure. Claire, thank you so much for coming to this Q&A. You are smart beyond belief, and we love you. I really want to give a shout out to our interpreters there. Sharon's on screen, and I apologize, I forget the name of the other interpreters out there. But thank you guys so much for doing this. This means a lot to us. AJ, John, seriously, you guys are brilliant. I love you. Everyone else, have a great day. See you on the other side. Bye-bye.
Thank you.